What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. Y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I hope y'all having a wonderful night. So let's talk about some Olympics. Sha'Carri Richardson is headed to she's in France as the favorite to win the women's 100-meter race. Everybody talking about Sha'Carri after she wowed everybody in the U.S. Olympic trials in June. And everybody looking at her like, man, you are the girl that people were talking about, you are the girl people predicted you to be, a couple of years ago, right? And so speaking of a couple of years ago, you got a lot of black folks who are upset that Sha'Carri was criticized by the black community years ago, right? You got people saying y'all switched up on Sha'Carri. Black folks switched up on Sha'Carri. I'll never forget about how y'all switched up on Sha'Carri some years ago. Y'all was foul, y'all was wrong, y'all switched up on that girl. Don't come over on this side now. First of all, that whole narrative is false. Nobody switched up on Sha'Carri. Let's be for real, man. At the time when Sha'Carri, a couple of years ago, I made videos criticizing Sha'Carri. I said she was a talented runner, a really gifted young lady, but yeah, she should have been held out of competition. I'm sorry, if the rules say they have a drug-free policy, which includes marijuana, and you smoke marijuana, you shouldn't be allowed to race, okay? There's nothing wrong with holding our favorites accountable for things when they are breaking rules, right? Like, look, LeBron James, if the NBA got a no weed policy, LeBron James smokes some weed, bro, you got to sit out, bro. That's just how it goes. Whether, and people were arguing, well, it's not performance-enhancing drugs, and it wasn't. However, it was on the list of banned substances, okay? Now, when I get in front of this camera and I criticize Ryan Garcia for taking Osterin, and I say, yo, performance-enhancing drugs, PEDs, are not allowed, and y'all, people say, man, it was only a little bit of Osterin. I say, it don't matter. It shouldn't have been in the system. If it's on the banned list of performance-enhancing drugs, it shouldn't. If it's a performance-enhancing drug, it should not be used because you are not allowed to use those things, right? Now, while Sha'Carri's marijuana is not performance-enhancing, it's on that list, and she needs to be held accountable. And there is nothing wrong with us holding each other accountable in our community. That's how young folks and people in general get better and improve on things. If we keep just letting them get passes to do whatever, then they will never grow and they will never mature like they're supposed to. Okay, I'm raising 2 children, a 13-year-old daughter and a 3-year-old son. If I don't hold them accountable for things, if I just let it slide because they my kids and I love them, then they will never grow. And by the time they get to certain levels of school or certain levels in their life, they won't have the discipline to know, hey, if you do something wrong, you're going to be reprimanded for it. There are going to be consequences and repercussions to your actions. Furthermore, I criticized Sha'Carri because of how she was carrying it at that point. She was carrying it. What do I mean how she was carrying it? She was being a little overly cocky to the Jamaican girls at that time. Even making some comments that could be slighted against her teammates at time when the U.S. team didn't perform well, right? And I say, yo, that's not okay. She got to carry herself a little better than that. I'm not saying you can't be unapologetically black, no problem with that, but I felt like she should have carried herself a little better than that. You know what I mean? At certain times, I feel like she was throwing some shots, and I forgot exactly what was said. She was throwing some shots at her teammates when they didn't perform well, and she wasn't racing, and how she was kind of the attitude she had to the Jamaican girls, So anyway, now since that, Sha'Carri has grown, she has matured, she's refocused, and now she's reaching her full potential, and we all are happy for her. Ain't nobody switched up. We recognize she's grown. Look how she's talking in interviews. She's a different young lady. She's much more mature. You can tell, like, she got a different aura around her now. And I'm proud to see that growth. And black folks are allowed to see her growth and maturation. We're allowed to be proud of her ascension. You know what I mean? The results we are seeing now from her is a reflection of her growth. We glad to see it. Ain't no, oh, y'all switched up now, we switched up. No, bro, like, we held her accountable. You know what I mean? You can't smoke weed, whether we like you or not. You know what I mean? And it's important to hold folks accountable so that they can switch things up going forth. And look at her now, right? Ever since that happened, she's been on a different plane. And it's beautiful to watch, man. It's beautiful to watch, and I'm rooting for the young lady. But black folks didn't switch up on her. Like, listen, man, we got to stop this where if we hold people accountable, we hating, or we like, you know what I mean, we switching up. Like, bro, no. Like, if you do something against the rules, it's against the rules. Like, what are we gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. If my daughter, if my daughter interviewing for a job and they say you're gonna be drug tested, you can't be on these drugs, right? And she come to the job with weed in her system, I'm not finna sit up in there with the people, man. Hey, listen, man, this ain't nothing. She still did a great interview. She still is able to work. She still is a hard worker. They telling, no, she can't smoke weed. We can't have somebody under the influence on this job. And it is what it is. It ain't nobody hating on her, nobody switching up, nobody being disrespectful. People just being real. You know what I mean? And now Sha'Carri is, I mean, listen, you can tell from her interviews. Again, her spirit is grown. Her spirit has matured. You know what I mean? And I'm happy for her. I'm happy for her. I'm proud of her. And even in my video some years ago, I said I do believe she will learn from this and grow from this. But I did criticize her for I did say, yo, she knew she couldn't smoke weed. She shouldn't have done that. You know what I mean? I understand she was dealing with loss around that time, but in those situations, sometimes you got to go to something else for comfort rather than that. You know what I mean? Especially when you know it can prohibit you from doing something that's your dream. You know, I know when you're grieving, because I don't know who I'm not sure who passed away at that time. Was it a grandmother, somebody? I'm forgetting. Right? But I'm like, yeah, I know that's a hard thing to cope with. I know it's hard. I know it's hurtful. But you got to find other ways to cope. When you know something that you want to do, something that you might be leaning towards, will get you in trouble. You know what I mean? And that was my that was all I was saying. You know what I mean? And that's how I was coming with it. And some people looked at that as like, oh man, listen, other people can do this and do that. Like, man, listen, we can't do that. We can't do that. Like, no, bro. We cannot do that. We can't let her just do what she want to do and then say, hey, it's all good in the hood. Because if we would allow that to happen, who knows if she would have even experienced this growth and maturation. Now, seeing a different Sha'Carri, and again, she's glowing, smiling, and looking beautiful, doing her thing. And I'm proud of that young black lady, young black woman. I'm very proud of that young black woman, and I'm cheering her on. And I'm liking what I'm seeing from her, man. She got a different aura about her, man. She got that glow around her like Bruce Leroy got, man. She got that glow like Bruce Leroy, man. When Bruce Leroy got that glow and he whooped on Show Nuff's ass, you feel me? He told Show Nuff, you not the master, Show Nuff. You hear me? You feel Bruce Leroy caught the bullet with his teeth. That was Sha'Carri got that glow around her, man. Heavenly, man. I'm looking like, let's go, black girl. Let's go, black girl. Let's go, black woman, rather. Let's go, young black woman. Let's get it. I'm happy for her, man. I'm happy for her. And I'm hoping and praying she helped the U.S. bring home gold. And I believe she will, man. But this whole notion that we switched up has got to stop. Like, let's knock that off. Cut it out. That's not the case. It wasn't the case then. We ain't gonna act like it's the case now. So y'all gotta cut it out. Everybody don't have to blindly just follow everything everybody does, even when they do the wrong stuff. When they do some wrong things, people can say, yo, that's not okay. That's not cool. She should have handled that differently. She gotta go about things a different way. People are allowed to say that without it being, you know, we need to, so what? It ain't PEDs. Like, bro, no. It's against the rules. If it's against the rules, it's against the rules, y'all. But now we ain't got to worry about that. Young Sha'Carri has grown. She's prospered. She has rose from the ashes like a phoenix. And she ready to fly high in Paris, man. And I'm going to be tuning in just like y'all going to be tuning in. We going to be rooting for her. And we going to champion her when she get the job done. Win, lose, or draw, I'm rocking with her regardless. Win, lose, or draw, I'm rocking with Sha'Carri. Because I'm loving what I'm seeing from her. Win, lose, or draw, I'm rocking with her all the way. So I'm going to champion her regardless. But I just wanted to dispel this narrative that y'all had that black folks switched up on her a few years ago. Cut it out, man. Machiavelli Mills TV. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for rocking with me. I know it's late. Y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Love, peace, blessings to all my new subscribers. Y'all have a great weekend. I'm out. Peace.